Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today, and I'm sharing with you this winter layout, snow layout, created using a stash of Bella Boulevard. And one of them is actually a birthday collection, and then that digital cup file, as well as some current Simple Stories. So actually just one sheet of Simple Stories that is a snow-themed layout that is going to then tie everything in together. So I have these two photos. They are square 4x4s of my husband and I on our first snow when we were excited about snow here in Virginia. So I have converted the photos to black and white because I want to use this color palette. And you know, it's funny with snow gear, right? We love our snow photos, but they're so hard to scrapbook sometimes because your red jacket may clash with your daughter's purple jacket, or not necessarily clash, but it just, you know, and snow collections don't come in red and purple. And so one way to get around that is to convert your photos to black and white. And I find that snow photos in black and white are actually so much more striking than the color photos anyway. So I am pulling the colors from these Bella Boulevard collections for their colors. I am looking for that teal as well as the pink, and I want them to go with my black and white photos there. So this is going to be a grid layout. This is the first video process that I am sharing that's called I don't actually have, you know, I was thinking about it as I was editing this video that I want to do a series, and it's called Breaking Out of the Box or Breaking Out of the Grid. So this is an unofficial introduction to that series where I want to talk about grids and how you can soften them. So in this particular grid, you have the header, the stuff that I'm working on up here, which then takes away that boxy feel, as well as I have moved the grid over to the left-hand side and have elements moving outside of the borders of those 4 squares, which also softens the grid as well. Because I have snow, I'm going to rip this particular piece of paper, which also not only softens the grid, but gives that sort of more, because those are polka dots, that snow falling effect. When you do strips like this, you want to make sure that you vary the size. So you can see that I have different size strips as my header across the top of the page there. So I cannot for the life of me remember where this digital cut file is from. I believe it's Confessions of a Paper Addict. I know that that top part of the snowflake is going to be underneath the photos, so I am going to snip that off. I am going to try and leave the bits that makes sense to it, but you can see I took one of them with me, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that once I finish gluing everything or adhering everything down there. So that pink polka dot at the bottom left of the grid is we'll just call it the B side of the Simple Stories paper, and then the snow, all of the words, burr, let it snow on the top right, that is the A side of that same sheet of paper, and the rest of this is Bella Boulevard that will pull it together. I am trying to bust out my stash here because I realize I have so much that while the new stuff is fresh and cool, you can use the new stuff, pieces of it sparingly, with your older stash and bring your older stash to life that way. So now I have my metal dies. You have seen a lot of these little B metal dies. I use the circles and the stars a lot. They are go-tos for me. And I'm going to punch out and or die cut a bunch of circles. Actually, I believe this is the only one that I'm going to cut with the die. The rest I'm going to do with my circle cutters. And I want to mimic the effect of those circles in the Simple Stories pink paper that's down there. And they're in essence like the snowflakes falling out of the sky. that is what these circles are going to represent. And it also is another great way of breaking up the grid. So while this is a snow layout, you could do this as a bubble blowing layout, right? You could do it even as a summer layout, and instead of the circles, you could use stars, but a great way to make a grid a more versatile, less boxy looking structure. So what do you think of the idea of that series, breaking out of the box? I thought it was a fun way to try and show you different ways to use a grid on your layout, but not have it be incredibly boxy. I'm thinking that I would do one a month, maybe two a month, definitely one a month. Would you be more interested in one or two a month? And would you want guest designers to show up in my series, or tell me what your thoughts are about that series. And if it's not something that appeals to anybody, it won't be something that I do or that I just do periodically. We'll see. I'd love to know what your answers are, and how you feel about that, if it's something that you're interested in. So I will tell you, off camera, I am going to add some epoxy dots. So I have enamel dots. A million Bella Boulevard dots that coordinate, obviously, with their collections. And so I'm going to put a few of those sprinkled throughout the page, and you will see that. I have this sticker from, it's not a sticker, die cut from Ellie's Studio, because I wanted to get a little more of that darker teal in there, and that favorite is a great way of doing that. You can see that I also have the arrow stickers at the top left that coordinate, and then I have some random stickers that I have collected over the years, again from Bella Boulevard, only this is Illustrated Faith / Bella Boulevard, and I'm looking for those hot pinks and the darker teals, just to get a little bit of depth, variety, contrast into the page there. I love the way that those two stickers that I've just put down really point into the photo, and again kind of take that boxy, it creates movement on the layout, and so it's not just the boxes guiding your eye there. So you can see I kind of have three clusters there. The top left by the tree, the large circle over the burr, and then that bottom cluster to the left of the photo. There's a few that are poking out from there, but that's okay because again, that's movement around the page. So I am going to use these pink stickers over that snowflake to add my title. I had thought maybe I would put my title over on the left-hand side. You could see where I tried putting words down there, but I didn't want to cover up those circles because they're part of the design element. So that is going to wrap it up. I am off camera going to actually finish the title, and I'm going to put walking in the snow, but I was stuck as I was designing here as to how that was going to go, and so needed to walk away from it for a little while before that was actually finished. This is a old Paper Person stamp. It might actually have been Kelly Perky before she became Paper Person. Just to put two more snowflakes in to integrate that theme into the layout. So I will journal on a white circle that you'll see right there, slap bang in the middle, that I think just ties it all together really nicely. Enjoy the close-ups, and again, don't forget to leave in the comment box down below how you feel about a break out of the box series from me. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're not getting too much snow, or you are, depending on how you feel about snow. Come back again soon. Take care.